Sorry about that. Buddy, hello. Cool. Off. I'm trying to check this out. Cool. Hello? Didn't post. Of course. Facebook. Then let me fix my noise gate. Hello? Sounds like I am not cutting in and out anymore. There we go. All right. Now I just need to find my link. Share this to all my stuff. You know how it is. Whoa, 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 whoa. What did I just do? I don't know what just happened. Just like erased my tweet. All right. Get some hashtags in here. There we go. There we go. Let's hit up the Insta story as well. That's a thing, right? All right, so all I wanted to do really is just talk about the Rumble, right? It's coming up tomorrow. It's one of the most exciting times of the year for wrestling. But I also wanted to talk about some stuff that's going on around the wrestling world, namely the Undertaker soft references that have been happening or that happened on the Joe Rogan podcast. I watched that whole thing. I've been watching a lot of Undertaker interviews, right? And he's been saying a lot. Obviously, he's retired and he's doing his rounds, his media rounds. So he's talking to a lot of people and doing his interviews. But he got really real on the Joe Rogan podcast and was talking about the current roster being soft and all that, or the current state of the business. I guess I don't know if it was the roster specifically, but he said it's soft, which if you talk to any old guy in any sport, they're gonna say that, oh, it's so different now, right? We all saw the Last Dance last summer, with the Bulls, and they were, you saw what Rodman was doing, going to Vegas in the middle of this playoffs, or the middle of was it the finals? It was the finals, right? Whatever it was, he went to Vegas in the middle of the stuff, and then he went to, ironically, do some stuff with WCW. It's a different time, right? What frustrates me is that um, older guys will get upset because things are different, and it's easier now for guys to get in and be successful, which I don't think it's true. I think not it's not crazy like it was. You know, these guys aren't coming in to hazing as much as it was, bullying, whatever. They're not being tormented. They're being taken care of, right? So WWE specifically is a public company now since 2000 and I don't know, one, The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin made it so big to where it was publicly traded, right? So you can buy stock and all that. So they have people that they have to be corporate, so to speak. And they can't just do the wild shit that they used to do back then, right? So Undertaker talked about guys having weapons in their bags, guns, knives, whatever. And it's like, why would you want the guys now to have to go through that, right? Just because you went through it, you think it's like a rite of passage that to be tough, you gotta have a weapon in your bag, or you gotta fight someone. There's always talks in the back in the day where guys would come to blows. They would actually fight in the locker rooms and that kind of thing. It's like, why would you want that? Why would you want? You went through all this stuff. Obviously, it made you who you were, and it made you the superstar, whatever the legend you were. When there's no doubt about it, Undertaker's an absolute legend in wrestling. Anyone will tell you that. He lasted 30 plus years in the industry, 30 with the WWE specifically, which is just unheard of. That's like Kobe numbers, staying with the same team your whole career, pretty much. He did a small stint in WCW, but my point is, you went through that, right? You paved the way. The older guys are supposed to pave the way for the younger guys and make it easier. That's the thing. Why would you want these people to have to go through that stuff? It's crazy. Breaking news, actually, I just saw that Matt Stafford is traded to the Rams for Jared Goff and 2 future first round picks and a third round pick. Wow. Crazy. But anyways, yeah, like, why would you want that? I give There's guys right now in the WWE that, they talk about fighting back then. There's guys right now that, Matt Riddle, Bobby Lashley, um, John Morrison, guys that have real fighting backgrounds. That would, if Undertaker really tried to fight, oh, Brock Lesnar, obviously, right? If Undertaker really tried to fight one of these guys, like, he would get murdered. They know how to fight. Like, they professionally trained fighters. There's no reason you should talk about them because they're not out, you know, drinking bottles of Jack after the show and partying till wee hours of the morning and then going and having to do a show, all messed up. Like, why would you want that? You would want, I feel like if wrestling kept that, not even just wrestling, any sport or industry kept that up, it would just be over. Like, it would be ended. They wouldn't take it seriously in the mainstream. They would just be like, nah, this is too crazy. Why would we want this? Why would we want this on our television? We know what these guys do, especially now. There's a camera everywhere you go. Someone has a camera. Someone's always watching. Like, they would record all those fights, the stuff in the bars. Someone would be recording. It'd be on the internet, social media. Like, why would you want that all over the place, And that's what would happen nowadays. So it's not soft, necessarily soft. It's smarter. It's definitely smarter. Guys aren't dying in their 40s because they were hooked on pills or freaking alcoholics or whatever their choice drug or fix was. It's just not happening anymore. Every year we have a full list of guys from the golden era of what they called wrestling and the attitude era. There's always guys dying because they did some dumb shit their whole lives because that's the way it was. Who cares? Why would you want that? Why would you want all these guys to be hooked on drugs or alcoholics or whatever and just be not make it past their freaking 40s, It's crazy. So I don't know what y'all think about it or whatever, but just hearing that is kind of frustrating. I shouldn't, better. The Undertaker's a Texan, and he has that, not to sound rude, but like that redneck mentality, that old West mentality, like, oh, back in my day type of stuff. And that sucks because right before he was on that interview with Joe Rogan, he talked about wanting to help the younger guys and stuff, and then goes on Joe Rogan's podcast because it's not like a wrestling podcast where he thinks everyone's not watching. And then he just shits on all the younger talent, And don't get me wrong, like, my favorite era, and it's just because of the age I was in and I was impressionable, was the Attitude Era, right? And Steve Austin is my guy, and The Rock and all that. I love that stuff. But I understand the guys now, like the in-ring product right now, like the actual wrestling moves and the wrestling that they do is beyond light years better than what it was then. Like, if you go back and watch the Attitude Era, there's a lot of bad wrestling in there. But the good stuff, the good stories they were telling with the top guys, of course, The Rock, like I said, Steve Austin, Triple H, Mankind, Undertaker, Kane, like all the top guys, the Hardys, the tag team, Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, all that stuff was so good that it made the shows feel that much better. And you didn't care about that other stuff. And that's how I feel. But it's just crazy, just that someone would think they want that for the younger guys. They're like, oh, they're soft because they're not doing this thing. I don't know. To me, that's kind of weird, but it's like in basketball. I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan, Bulls fan. That's my team. I grew up in that time. They left that impression on me. Same with the Attitude Era. I enjoy that era of basketball, but I understand guys now are gonna play way longer. Look at LeBron; he's in his 18th season. He's playing like he's still in his, you know, 10th season or whatever. And I give LeBron a lot of shit because obviously the comparisons to him and Jordan, and I don't do it out of like just being a hater. Like Michael Jordan's my favorite player ever. That's not gonna change. Is someone gonna be greater than him? Probably. And it's probably LeBron. He probably already is greater than him, but I'm not gonna discredit everything he's done, right? So he spends so much money to take care of himself, and then also the league now spends so much money to take care of the players than it did then. Like it's not that they're soft now or that they're not as hardworking now. It's just a different time. Like, and it should be. Those guys shouldn't have to put up with the shit that the Michael Jordans, the Larry Birds, the Magic Johnsons, the Isaiah Thomas, and even before that, with the racist stuff like Bill Russell, they shouldn't have to put up with that stuff. Times change. You shouldn't expect a sport to stay the same, whether it's professional wrestling and it's a work or it's basketball, football, whatever. Look at Tom Brady. He's 43. He's in the goddamn Super Bowl. Like, he's not the Tom Brady of 2008, but he's put himself in the position by taking care of his body, his health. His full eats like leaves. He doesn't. It's calculated. Like, there's a reason he's still playing at a Super Bowl level. You shouldn't expect everything to stay the same. And that's the point of this pre-Royal Rumble, discussion is things change, man. You got to go with the times, And of course, you can have your opinions about it. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. You don't need to be accepting of everything, right? But you need to understand it, Like, I understand. I'm a big hip hop fan as well, right? So my whole life right now is, well, forever has been basketball, wrestling, video games, hip hop. That's all I know about. And of course, I've been in restaurants for 11 years, so 12 years now. So I know a little bit about that. But as far as my interests, those four things are what I'm into. And I listen to hip hop. There's some good out there that's new. There's some bad, really bad out there. But I respect it, right? These guys saw that, well, if I can make a good beat and something catchy and put it on the internet, because that's what people make it now, is on the internet. You don't have to go freaking spit ciphers and freestyle battle people and, knock on record label doors to get on now. You can just put something out on the internet and it'll be caught. If it's catchy, people will catch it, People will listen to it and spread it around, and it becomes a thing. Like, the rappers now are about like a personality, It's not about the music as much anymore. It's like the personality's where it's at. They don't always make the best music, right? But they get on and they get famous and they make their run and they get their money and they get out, or they get destroyed once people on the internet, the same people that brought them up, bring them back down, because that happens too. So the point is, things change, people change. You just got to go with it, And don't shit on it, because in 20 years, the people now are gonna, you know, it's gonna be different than it is now. Obviously, right? Because things evolve. So to hear Undertaker, the guy who was like the gold standard in WWE for so long, just shit on guys right after he said he wanted to help or he does help the locker room. It's kind of like a two-faced thing, you know, and it's kind of, I don't know, kind of a bummer, but you know, it's whatever. It's what he wants to do. I guess he's earned that right. But I really got to take a leak, so I will be right back. Oh god, of course I was muted. All right. I want to shift away from that negative, right? Let's talk Royal Rumble tomorrow night. The 2021 Royal Rumble is happening. And I couldn't be more excited, man. It's like a very unpredictable Rumble. Usually by now you know who's going to possibly win, who's going to be the final four. It's very unpredictable right now. We got guys who are getting pushed big time. Both, you know, guys and girls, men and women. And I did my predictions. I chose Cesaro to win. And I did that on like Tuesday, you know. So since seeing SmackDown, I kind of don't believe my own hype anymore. But yeah, I think Cesaro would be a good win, but I really think at this point it's going to be Daniel Bryan. It seems like they're setting him up because he's been losing or not looking very good as far as matches go, and for whatever reason the WWE way is to make your winner of the Royal Rumble not look good prior to the Royal Rumble. So I'm assuming it's going to be DB. That'd be great. He's never won one, so that'd be new. And if we got Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, that would be insane as well and very cool. So I'd be cool with that. But I think Cesaro, originally I was going to say Big E, but Big E is the IC champ, so I don't see him winning the Rumble also, and going on to main event WrestleMania, unless he loses the IC title in the meantime. But I don't see that. So, I definitely see Daniel Bryan winning, but I'd like to see Cesaro win. As far as the final four, then they added Edge, right? Excuse me. They added Edge on Monday Night Raw, announced he's going to be in it. So I think he's going to play a big part in the end of the Royal Rumble, probably be in the final four. And that would be cool, He when he came back last year was huge, your boy popped crazy. I was into that, wasn't expecting it. I really liked last year's Royal Rumble. It was freaking cool. But yeah, when Edge came back, that was great. And then they, he had his little thing with Randy Orton, and then he got hurt again, so he couldn't compete for most of 2020. I think his last match was at Backlash. They had the greatest match of all time, or whatever it was called. And I think when was Backlash in May or April? Probably April. But yeah, it was cool to see him back, and they had see, I also just saw Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com is reporting that Moxley vs. Kenta is confirmed for February 26th. So Moxley popped up last night on New Japan Strong at the end of the show, I guess, and him and Kenta got had a moment face to face in the ring, right? So Kenta won the match at Wrestle Kingdom. He beat, who did he beat? Was it Ishii? I don't remember who he beat, but he beat someone in order to retain the little United States, the U.S. title contract to go on and face Moxley at some point. So I guess that's going to be February 20. What did I say? 26th. Sorry, February 26th. Kenta versus Moxley. Not sure what show that is or what, but that'll be happening. So that's good. But yeah, the Rumble. I'm excited. Can't wait. I went to the Rumble in 2019 when Seth Rollins won, and it was so much fun. And that was the first, actually the only WWE pay-per-view I've ever been to. I've been to a bunch of house shows, right? They come to my town all the time, but I never went to any pay-per-views until then, and that was really cool. Had a good time. With my boy Josh. Shout out to Josh. He did design this shirt for me, this hoodie. There we go. Had to be wrestling with the NWO classic print. I'll have some shirts come in soon, and I think I'm gonna do local for now, and then hopefully I'll be able to do some shipping and get those out to anyone who's not in my town. That'd be cool, right? Get some merch going. I'll probably then work on some other merch stuff with the Matty B Wrestling logo that I got designed as well from a gentleman that did my Matty B Gaming logo as well. So yeah, I got some stuff in the works, but Royal Rumble tomorrow. Very excited. Don't look like this chat's going anywhere, so I've just been talking for 30 minutes. But I enjoy it. Hopefully someone will see this once I post it after. And, check me out in the comments. Let me know what you think about the Rumble coming up. Let me know who you think is going to win. All that stuff. What you think the WrestleMania card's going to look like. And, yeah, and then we'll compare notes when it comes time. I'll keep doing my thing and posting videos about my thoughts, and see if we can come to consensus whenever Royal Rumble comes around. See what we got and who was closest, right? It's the fun prediction time, the fantasy booking time. of the season. So thank you guys, whoever dropped in and checked it out. Thank you for watching. And I don't think I'm gonna live stream the Rumble reactions, but I will post afterwards my minimalistic review for the Rumble. It's my first pay-per-view minimalistic review. I've been doing the shows every week for like 2 weeks now, 3 weeks. So check those out. But yeah, I'll have my first pay-per-view minimalistic review, and we'll see how it goes. I appreciate you guys for stopping by, and happy Rumble.